All right, so news really ahead of the game is that Ricochet is going to leave WWE. And I'm not saying I'm shocked, but I am kind of shocked. There's been like rumors stuff like that about like Will Ospreay talking them up and being like an AEW and whatnot. And you know, we all thought I'm pretty sure most of us thought that Samantha Irvin's there, his fiance, that he would stay. That'd be a reason to stay. But while we've seen people, a couple not too long ago, being like that's why they stay in the company. I was like here lately. I was like they've been a lot more being like, all right, I'll see you when I see you. I don't know, that's because since everybody's on a road that you're gonna probably you can match up where it's like it's not that hard to end up at people's shows anymore like it used to. It's a little bit more free nature where it's like nobody ain't gonna hate on like an AEW person showing up at the WWE campus. We've heard like people being backstage and just like to see their friends or whatever. So not a real shocker there. Um, I was like, I was like, he's either going to go to. I'm pretty sure. I feel like he's going to go to AEW. I know there are people that said like maybe New Japan, and I could probably see that one as well too. But other than that, I don't think anywhere else is really in competition. To me, I think really also AEW should be the place because you get to stay on American television. I was like over here as well. Like I said, that was like his fiance. But also, if you wanted to go to TNA or I was like, I think the AEW still probably good with them. Or New Japan, we know they about to do Forbidden Door, and they don't have a problem in doing any of this as well either. That AEW is probably the best of the nexus point of being able to do whatever you want to in that. Also, like I'm not gonna act like I know enough about New Japan in order for me to talk about it. So they're talking about AEW. I'm like, look, AEW gets criticism, and I was like, I think fairly so. I think it just depends on what side of the aisle you are. Whether you're like we wrestle here, or we don't do this sports entertainment stuff, or the other side that is just like, oh, you're treading on this other stuff. Look, I'm really pretty much in the middle. I was really high up on AEW in the first couple years. Then I sort of like kicked out of it. I was like, some of the fans sort of getting on my nerves because it was like, then I was just like, probably on the way where you just kind of can't really talk about it. And I was like, normally that tribalism don't really bother me, but I was like, here it's different than like talking about like basketball, football. I was like, here it's like, oh, y'all taking this a little too seriously. But with that, AEW, I was like, the because basically, look, the reason he's leaving WWE is really more so because you don't feel like you're getting the shine, opportunity, whatever you want to say that you needed. Because guess what? I was like, AEW probably is going to offer him more money he probably would be able to get from WWE. But that doesn't mean that WWE couldn't give him like the same or more money. That's not really what that. I was like, that's not really what that's about. I was like, because I was like, if you want to stay in WWE, I'm pretty sure that they would probably. I was like, AEW has to sort of drive the price up because I was like, that's just sort of how it is. Think about like sports teams. I'm like, the Charlotte Hornets are going to have to offer way more money than Golden State. Golden State going to get a good player on the cheap because they're like, oh, Golden State, Steph Curry. Whereas like Hornets, get what I'm saying? So I was like, so AEW, they got the money to do it, but they're gonna have to. Now, let's go into the question with WWE. Did he? Did WWE fail him, or did he do enough in WWE? Now, it depends on what you think about that. And that's where it gets sort of tricky, especially amongst fans and stuff like that, because fans think that every damn person should be used this way and be a main champion. And guess what? That just ain't possible. It's not possible. That doesn't mean that, you can't never like challenge for the championship, be in top spot. Now maybe if you want to say stuff like that, okay, like I think he's only had one or two shots for the main championship. Now on that spot, I could say, hey, you probably should have put Ricochet in bigger spots. I know people point out his mic skills, and I was like, they're not good, but they're not bad. They're okay. And I'm like, with the right person, it would be. I was like, it would work out fine. Like the stuff that he was doing with Ilya, I thought was pretty good. I thought him. I was like, this way that he was talking, I thought was a lot better than anything I've seen him in. Being kind of like first when he was doing like the NXT stuff, I thought they were pretty good at it. The stuff where he was like being like this superhero guy, I was like, I didn't like none of that. Also too, I think sometimes Ricochet suffered from like how like a little bit like Dom said, where he sells so well while also putting on good matches. But he's a high flyer, so that means he's gonna do some ridiculous stuff that just adds to it. Um, but he's been an Intercontinental Champion. He's been a U.S. Champion. Um, I don't think he. I don't. I was like, I don't know him being main event status. I was like, look, and there's things that go with it because I was like, look at the people in the main event scene. Look, they're all somewhat different. Some of them rest like hella good. Some of them rest okay. Some of them got the crowd appeal. Some of them got the sports entertainment stuff, whatever you want to say. Uh, but I don't think I was like. So if you thought that he should be in main event status stuff, then yes, WWE fell. But I don't. I was like, if you thought that he should have the championship a lot more, see, and what makes this hard is there's a difference between the Vince era and the Triple H era, and we really only had like two. I was like 2 years of Triple H. Like I know this past year was really like his official one, but we sort of had like one and a half, two, and in that Ricochet was the champion for a good while, but I was like, but if you think in totality, then maybe that's probably what's burning him and being like, all right, I'm gonna leave. It's just because when Vince was there, I was like, Vince sort of with him, you know, like he did win championships, and he was a good person to put it on. But it's like, but during that time, it was kind of like, and I don't think that Triple H has had long enough to really do anything with Ricochet. What would you want him to do with like? You got all these different type of storylines, and I'm like Ricochet. First of all, he was also hurt for a while, but I was like, just like how we see with Chad Gable, who's also not afraid about to be, is that you give it some time, maybe there'll be something for you. I was like Ricochet being one of the Triple H dudes from NXT. I'm like, who not to say in like 2 years that he basically would just be our Rey Mysterio. I mean, short guy, always against all odds, right matchup, he wins. Like against I was like Drew in the right setting, how Drew was like over here, I would take a thing for granted. Like, I was like, that's just for an example. Now going to AEW, look, at the beginning, I was like, he's going to be pretty good. I mean, and I'm not talking about like his matches being pretty good. I mean, like he'll be solid, he'll be good, he'll be on TV, he'll be the new guy, he'll be here, stuff like that. The problem is that you signed a 2-3 year deal. Where are you at during that time? Like yes, they might do something with him and Will Ospreay, of course, and because he put on hella great matches, he will have success in AEW. Now, in that time span, you think he'll be the AEW heavyweight champion? Or do you see him being the TNT champion? Got to be the TNT champion. That's just the U.S. Intercontinental champion all over again. If he's a Ring of Honor champion, okay. I was like, he'll put great matches on when they do the Continental Classics. He will. I was like, he'll put on great matches with no matter who you put him on, because he does have great matches. And seeing some of his other stuff, boy, he was like Prince Puma and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, he can do this thing. I was like, he'll fit in AEW. That's not the problem. It's just that will he get lost in the shuffle after a while, being on there where they have stuff for him to constantly do, or will he just feel like he's in the same boat? Now, Ricochet and all this, not the fans. Look, you want to change the scenery? Go ahead and do it. You want to do something different? You want to see if you can change the narrative on yourself, I was like, maximize more of your talent because you might think there's more stuff here. By all means, go for it. I was like, hey, that's the point of there being multiple wrestling promotions. Go out there making money, do your thing. Fine, that's cool. Um, and to be honest, I was like, while this is new, then we're like talking about each spot that he go to. It's really not about Ricochet. I mean, the decision is about Ricochet, but this isn't about Ricochet. It's really about wrestling people. That is like, what do y'all think comes of this? Like, most of the time I don't even really like put any like faith in people being like, oh, they never knew how to utilize this guy or Triple H and all this other stuff, blah blah. Just because I'm like, y'all say that about every damn person, and I'm like, every damn person, like I said, can't be at the top. And you got to look at things. Am I on TV all the time? Do I get championship shots? Am I in storylines? Are they doing things with me? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look, Ricochet he's on TV. I was like, to be honest, he's on TV all the time in any type of way. I was like, hell, before he lost his U.S. championship and sort of got hurt, he was having matches all the time, where it was, I was like, yeah, he had the stuff at the Royal Rumble. I was like, well, I know everybody's in there, but you know what I'm saying? I was like, he had the match against Logan Paul. You know, I was like, he's in TV, he's in something all the time. So, going off that, I was like, you go off, and I'm just saying AEW just because I feel like that's where he's going to go. We'll see how it goes after several months. But I wish him the best of luck. I was like, he might give me I'll watch his matches. I was like, more so over there just to see who he's up against, new people, and all this other stuff. Because I was like, also, too, he might have, I was like, he sort of done had just about all the matches he can really on WWE as well. Like, he's been on Raw for forever, when I'm like, to me, I think he should have been on SmackDown. But I was like, who is there really for him to really like? That he might just need a new space of getting in there and mixing it up. AEW where the best wrestle, so we're gonna see how well he wrestles. But yeah, no, I was like, if he doesn't win, like I said, if he doesn't win the AEW Heavyweight Championship, I was like, not for Ricochet, how he feels about it, but for all the people around. Of like, will you feel that it was still a success for him to leave? Would you say Tony Khan didn't utilize him? Would you say that his move was a failure? Because if you don't, then what you talking about him on leaving? If it's not about just basically giving him like good luck on his way out, or talking about, yeah, he needs to do this and that. If you're just like, oh, that the previous company didn't do nothing with him, and it's like he goes there and it's like, okay, so he did the equivalent. So now what? Kind of like, while they have a whole bunch of titles, I'm like, I was like, maybe he take the title off Okada. Maybe take the title off Will Ospreay. We'll see. I was like, but if he never gets that main championship, where are we at? Anyway, I guess until the next Freight move, because I was like, apparently we got like Chad Gable and Natalya, and I was like, Natalya be weird, Chad Gable would be interesting, but I was like, I don't think he's going anywhere. Yeah. So anyway, we'll see how this goes, or until the next Freight does say anything. Until then, I'm out.